Which of these people have become Christians?
Okay, so I was watching Jordan Peterson's interview about Christ, and I think he kind of had an aha moment there, and I only recognize it because I've seen Muslims have this same aha moment when they leave Islam and realize that it's false. And so I was watching that and I'm thinking, if he actually believes what he just had stated, have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Can you link it?
Let me see if I can find. It's just a short clip, and maybe Darth can play it. But it's kind of like an aha moment. He's not claiming he's a Christian. He's just claiming that it's very plausible that he could believe that. Hold on.
Jordan Peterson's
big
crier.
Yeah, he gets very emotional. This is just a 2-minute.
It's
Wasn't he crying in that interview? Like, I think I saw that.
He cries all the time. It's barely an interview.
Yeah, but he's had issues with benzo dependence.
Where do I do this?
I'm going to stream it.
Where do I post it? Atheist Helpline?
Yeah, I'm going to play it right now. I'm going to stream it.
Okay.
No, maybe this is the right one.
Here, it's in the Atheist Helpline. I posted the one of them that I've seen.
Politics and on gender. He's also someone who's talked a lot about the Bible and Christianity, although he himself is not a Christian. Now, for me personally, I'm not intimately familiar with his work from a recent podcast.
My critic, this particular critic that I've been reading, said, well, that doesn't differentiate Christ much from a whole sequence of dying and resurrecting mythological gods. And of course, people have made that claim in comparative religion. Joseph Campbell did that, and Jung to a lesser degree, I would say, but Campbell did that. But the difference, and C.S. Lewis pointed this out as well, the difference between those mythological gods and Christ was that there's a historical representation of his existence as well. Now, you can debate whether or not that's genuine. You can debate about whether or not he actually lived and whether there's credible objective evidence for that, but it doesn't matter in some sense because it does, but there's a sense in which it doesn't matter because there's still a historical story. And so what you have in the figure of Christ is an actual person who actually lived plus a myth. And in some sense, Christ is the union of those two things. The problem is I probably believe that, but I don't know. I'm amazed at my own belief and I don't understand it. Like, because I've seen sometimes the objective world and the narrative world touch.
I love when he cries.
That's Jungian synchronicity.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, I think it's vulnerability.
I think that somebody's. I think it's a man who's a very profound thinker. We might disagree with him on certain issues, even our worldview, but nobody can accuse him of not really trying to be a profound thinker. And I think that if he's crying like this, he's really emotionally touched. He's not being a little wimp. He's not being, how shall we put it? He's not being a Thomas Westbrook.
Yeah. And I've seen that many times in my own life. And so in some sense, I believe it's undeniable. We have a narrative sense of the world. For me, that's been the world of morality. That's the world that tells us how to act. It's real. Like, we treat it like it's real. It's not the objective world. But the narrative and the objective world touch. And
what's that?
So it's not really real, though.
The ultimate example of that, in principle, is supposed to be Christ.
You got to remember that he has a history of being strongly Jungian. Okay, so you have to be careful about when he's talking about Christ. What is he precisely talking about?
You're going to see.
Okay.
But I don't know what to. That seems to me oddly plausible.
Yeah.
But I still don't know what to make of it. It's partly because it's too terrifying a reality to fully believe. I don't even know what would happen to you if you fully believed it.
If you believed in the story of Christ, or if you believed that history and
and let's say the narrative meet? Let's
both.
say.
I think you, because when you believe that, you buy both those stories. You believe that the narrative and the objective can actually touch.
Oh, there's so much here that we can talk about,
Yeah,
but some of you might be wondering what exactly.
Okay, somebody send this guy a memo. Get rid of the Mentos on your ears. Okay, doesn't look good.
Oh, he can't. He has the cochlear implants.
So why? What does that have? I've seen people with cochlear
I don't know.
implants.
I can't really see on this screen.
No, I'm talking about not Jordan Peterson. I'm talking about.
Yeah, you're talking about John McCrae.
Yeah, with the Mentos on his ears. That has nothing to do with cochlear implants.
Well, he has the cochlear in both his ears.
That's fine, but those Mentos have to go. They don't look good.
I'll tell him.
Is happening in that clip. So let me see if I can.
I mean, I could have been nice. I could have said Junior Mints.
Help to translate a little bit. It seems to me that Peterson breaks the world down into two different spheres, the objective world and the narrative world. The objective world is where all of the tangible things exist, things that can be observed and detected with the five senses. But the objective world doesn't inherently have any psychological content. It's like looking at a book and only observing the physical aspects of the book. Now, you'll notice that the book is filled with these pages and markings, but the markings don't have any objective meaning. Any meaning that we can attribute to the book is found in the story that the book tells, but the story doesn't have to be true in order for it to be valuable to us. And this is where the narrative world comes in. The narrative world is the place where we tell ourselves stories that give the world interpretation, personal fulfillment, and a sense of meaning and purpose. You can think of this world as containing a bunch of useful fictions that make life valuable and meaningful to us, but it doesn't tell us anything about the way that the world really is in reality, in the objective world. Even though these fictions are pragmatically useful and some are more useful than others, none.
Well, that's it. There's no more of Jordan Peterson here.
Yeah, that's it. So what did you think about that?
I don't know what to make of it because given his strong propensity for a Jungian interpretation of life, when he's talking about Jesus or Christ, I don't know what he means by that.
Well, he's been doing Bible studies, and I think he was just doing the Old Testament. I think he's gotten to the New Testament, and this is his outlook so far on the New Testament.
Oh, great! Maybe he's beginning to see the light that his Jungian outlook is just garbage.
What do you think about such a Jungian outlook, Darth?
Say that again?
What do you think about someone having such a Jungian outlook on life?
It's idolatry. It's a false worldview. Carl Jung was probably one of Freud's greatest disciples and very famous in the area of psychology. He was heavily into the occult. He had a personal spirit by the name of Philemon who communicated with him. And this is the way he came up with many of his concepts through occult contacts. Right?
When you say he's doing Bible studies, do you mean that he's doing them in a church-like sense, or do you mean that he's reinterpreting passages in the Bible according to his worldview?
You see, in Jungian thinking, and I'm by no means an expert on this, I just know a little bit to be dangerous. Jung felt that there were these archetypal ideas that are passed down from generation to generation. They're thematic material. Okay, and I'm not impugning Jordan Peterson. I don't know what he believes now, but I would be wary until I see reason to believe otherwise that he would be prone to interpreting the Bible through at least some Jungian filter. Okay, unless he showed clear evidence of abandoning that. Don't get me wrong. I like Jordan Peterson. I like that the guy's got chutzpah. I like that he's outspoken. He uses a lot of good critical thinking. I like how he nails many of his opponents. Like they'll emote sometimes and they'll say, "Okay, good. You just gave us a hierarchy of values. Where do you get that from?" Right? Unbelievers they don't like being questioned when they invoke their values. right? And ask their values to be grounded.
Did you like his conversation with Dillabloviator?
Oh, it's nauseating listening to Matt Dillahunty. Yeah,
I know, but I felt like Jordan did a good job.
I thought it was listening to one idolatrous concept of the world fighting another one.
Yeah.
I thought it was one speculation raised up against another one.
Yeah, it's just that Jordan Peterson's view was slightly less bad than Matt Dillahunty.
Yeah, because I remember a year ago that people were saying Peterson was a Christian, and I was like, okay, really, the guy denies the resurrection. He's a Christian? I don't think so.
Yeah, whenever somebody of notoriety is claimed to become a Christian, I want to see a good interview with them for my own satisfaction. And until I see something like that, I take it for granted that they're not.
Well, do you remember the part where there was one time when he was being interviewed and someone asked him if he believed in God, and he said, "I don't want to be boxed in."
I don't want to be boxed in.
That's like some of the atheists when Darth asks him a true dichotomy. I don't want to be boxed in, bro.
You're committing the black and white fallacy, bro.